Minglawa and welcome to Myanmar Radio's Myanmar Today. I am Agajo. Today we are reports on Myanmar welcoming more responsible investments. 2,224 extra prizes awarded at the 18th State Lottery Prize awarding ceremony. Domestic tourism seen with a gradual increase of travelers in some parts of Bagan. The condition of banana and coconut market. All of that on this edition of Myanmar Today, but for now, let's take a look at what's happening in local news. A relief flight by Myanmar Airways International bringing back 100 Myanmar nationals, of which 70 are from the United States and 30 are from the Republic of Korea, from Incheon International Airport, landed at the Yangon International Airport at 8 p.m. yesterday. With the help of Myanmar embassies in Washington and Seoul, 70 Myanmar nationals stranded in the United States, as well as 30 Myanmar nationals, including seamen in the Republic of Korea, could be brought back home by the relief flight. Similarly, an Air China cargo/relief flight bringing about 36 Myanmar students from the People's Republic of China landed at 7:10 p.m. yesterday. With the help of the Myanmar embassy in Beijing, the 36 Myanmar students stranded in China after their study programs could be brought back home by the Beijing Yangon Air China cargo/relief flight. A total of 701 Myanmar migrant workers, of which 412 males and 289 females, came back home from Thailand through the Myawaddy Friendship Bridge 2 yesterday. Kien State Little Representative U Tan Sen Aung, Myawaddy District Administrator U Deza Aung, and local authorities helped returnees with the medical tests and other supplies. A total of 56,756 returnees, including 11,680 in May, 25,338 in June, and 18,597 in July, and 440 on the 1st of August have come back home through this border crossing since the 1st of May. Yesterday's returnees were successfully sent to the respective quarantine centers in line with the COVID-19 prevention measures. Patrol team will strictly combat illegal fishing to protect dolphins in Ayeyarwady River, that is said by Utun Tong Win, head of Sagaing Region Fisheries Department. He added, quote, "We must take strict measures to curb illegal fishing," unquote. Surveillance operations around the Conservation Area 1 were conducted by the team led by Deputy Director General U Mianzin II of Fisheries Department, accompanied by the officials of the respective departments, Ayeyarwady Dolphin Conservation Society and Wildlife Conservation Society. The Deputy Director General instructed the further measures to end electrocution of the fishermen, protect dolphins from illegal fishing, and maintain living marine resources. Exports of garments manufactured under the Cut, Make, Pack (CMP) system were valued $3.6 billion in the past 10 months of the current financial year 2019 and 2020, according to the data from the Ministry of Commerce. The export figures reflect a decrease of $60 million as against a period ago. Myanmar's manufacturing sector is largely concentrated in CMP garments and textiles, which contribute to the country's GDP to some extent. The garment sector is among the prioritized sectors driving exports. The CMP garment industry has emerged as a promising one with the preferential trade from Western countries. The majority of the Myanmar's garment factories operate under the CMP system, and those engaged in this industry are striving to transform CMP into the free on-board system, according to the Myanmar Garment Manufacturer Association. That's all with the local news. Now we will move on to our first report. Directorate of Investment and Company Administration (DICA) and Myanmar Investment Commission welcomes more foreign investment to remedy the impact caused by the COVID-19. But at the same time, they also encourage the investors to have more responsibility for the investments in order to benefit not only the country, but also the people and the environment. Laura Suisin has more.
Despite the outbreak of COVID-19, which poses socio-economic impairs, the approved amount of foreign direct investment in Myanmar reached over $4.3 billion until the month of June, according to the data released by the Directorate of Investment and Company Administration, (DICAR). To remedy the impacts of COVID-19, the government is striving in various aspects, including receiving more foreign investments. However, when given accreditation, DICAR and MIC, Myanmar Investment Commission, prioritize that any investment coming in are responsible. Professor Dr. Aungtun, the member of Myanmar Investment Commission, MIC, spoke to MI Radio through an online interview.
Because it also creates a lot of unemployment. And therefore, MIC is very keen to accept more investment, because this is the only way to create jobs, but decent jobs too. It is not just ordinary jobs. We want to make sure that the jobs pay well, they are well treated, and therefore whatever we try to do is to look at the welfare and the well-being of the people. But as you know, the challenge with COVID-19 is two things: the lives of the people and the livelihoods of the people. So it is a very delicate balancing act. We have to ensure that we protect the lives as well as the livelihoods. And therefore, in post-COVID-19, as the situation improves, we are expecting more investments. We are hoping that we can provide more employment. And therefore, we're hoping that by the end of this year, we would hit the annual target that we have established ourselves.
To receive more investment, the government is ensuring to have good infrastructure and the legislated framework. At the same time, DICAR and MIC are promoting the responsibility of the investments. Both foreign investment and local investment in the country benefit not only the government but also the people and the environment. Myanmar welcomes corporate social responsibility (CSR) of the investors as well.
We want to make sure that the investment that comes in, whatever sector it comes in, does not negatively harm the people, the environment, and the country. Oftentimes in Myanmar, when we talk about CSR, people usually think of CSR as being donations. So what we had tried at MIC meetings is to ensure that the investors understand that we are talking not only of donations. Donations are very important, but we want to ensure that the corporate social responsibility goes beyond donation and philanthropy. So for this, what we have encouraged the companies is to join the UN Global Compact. As you know, the UN Global Compact, the UNGC, is the largest CSR initiative in the world. And I'm very pleased to let you know that currently we have over 300 local companies who are part of the UN Global Compact.
UN Global Compact is comprised of 4 pillars which cover 10 principles, and according to MIC, most of the companies are interested in it and commit to CSR in Myanmar. Professor Dr. Aungtun gave more detail about it.
The first pillar is human rights. This is very important for our country, that, for example, foreign investments or local investments do not damage the human rights, or we would make sure that they protect, they respect human rights in our country. Now, the second important thing is very important because this is part of MIC's work. We want to promote employment because we want to create jobs for our country, especially for the young people. In order to do this, we want to ensure that labor standards, the rules and regulations which the government has already passed, are committed. And therefore, we encourage the government, the investors who would like to invest in Myanmar, to look at labor standards. The third important issue is environment. As you know, we are very concerned of the environmental damage. So we want to promote responsible investment through protection of environment. And finally, and I think this is not the least, anti-corruption. Because we at MIC is very, very keen to ensure that we have a very transparent system, and that we would not tolerate any form of corruption. And therefore, if any foreign company or local company would like to get MIC permission and approval to invest in Myanmar, we suggest that they apply and become member of the UN Global Compact, which means that they have to adhere to these 4 principles that I've just mentioned.
According to the Union Minister for Investment and Foreign Economic Relations, the businesses accredited by MIC is currently using 2% of the net profit for the CSR campaigns. MIC engages with the investors for a win-win situation of the companies and the country through responsible investments. News reported by Dora Susan from Myanmar International Radio.
That's the report on Myanmar welcoming more responsible investments. The 18th State Lottery Prize awarding ceremony was held at the Lottery Division under the Internal Revenue Department on the 1st of August. A total of 220,884 prizes and extra 2,224 ones were awarded by the government. The total revenue from selling the 18th state lottery tickets amount was returned to customers as prizes, a 60% of the total revenue.
The 18th State Lottery Prizing Ceremony was held at the Lottery Division under the Internal Revenue Department on 1st August. Of 2,284 prizes and extra 2,224 ones were awarded by the government. The extra prizes included 4 1 million watt prizes, 23 lakhs watt prizes, 200 lakhs watt prizes, and 2,001 lakhs watt prizes. The total revenue from selling the 16-year state lottery tickets amount was returned to customers as prizes, a 60% of total revenue. Utanyi, owner of Cambodia Lottery Ticket Shop, shared his experience he had during the COVID-19 outbreak. He said,
I have 34 years of experience in lottery industry. There are altogether 40 alphabets for 18 state lottery and all have been sold out 4 or 5 days before the lottery prizing ceremony. And also for the shopper, the sales were pretty good. By this time, the retail prices were high unexpectedly. Previous months, we had to give only around 970 jets per ticket, but now it has been risen to 1,100 jets per ticket. So we have to fix the sale price to 1,200 jets per ticket now. The retail prices depend on the numbers of alphabets in lottery tickets. The retailers had to face losses during the COVID-19 outbreak. When there were no demand, the shoppers had to reduce 400 jets each for the tickets. I think the sales become more stable now and all shoppers and retailers can now slowly recover the losses that they had previously.
People have got familiar with the online transactions in every sector, especially making sales online. The new online platform for lottery sector has also emerged with the interest of the customers who would like to test their luck. This way, lottery shops and retailers get relieved for the losses they had faced during the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, the situations become more stable in the country with the relaxations of some rules by the government. People have started going out due to social and economic matters, and the market for lottery sector has become back to normal again. On the other hand, the online lottery market is still winning the interest of the human. Aung Tongkai, owner of Mahalaban Lottery Ticket Shop, said,
It is the rainy season now and there are traffic jams all over the country. The public transportation system are also quite inconvenient because there are too many people taking the bus with wearing no mask, so the online sales become popular. As the people have got used to with the online shopping and online markets, selling lottery tickets online is not a difficult thing for them to introduce. The sales are becoming higher and in normal condition together with online sales and physical sales.
The maximum price for Myanmar State Lottery is 1.5 billion kyats and the minimum price is 50,000 kyats. The Ambala State Lottery Department had reduced alphabet to 37 for 19 state lottery. This is news reporting from Myanmar Radio. I am Pyote Ritu.
That's the report on 2,224 extra prizes awarded at the 18th State Lottery Prize awarding ceremony. Tourism sites have been shut down in Myanmar since late March due to the global pandemic. Every business that has to depend on tourism destinations is experiencing losses in their incomes as there are no visitors to the areas. Now the reopening of the local tourism sites are also in operation to recover this tourism industry with the local travelers by relaxing some restrictions. Soyadana and Dora Wimpiezong have more.
Tourism sites have been shut down in Myanmar since late March due to the global pandemic. Every business that has to depend on tourism destinations is experiencing losses in their incomes as there are no visitors in the areas. The COVID-19 outbreak has affected tourism businesses in this season for both local and foreign visitors. With no locally transmitted COVID-19 patients, the government has relaxed some restrictions, the ban on gathering not more than 15 persons, the reopening of public places like restaurants, supermarkets, parks and some schools and pagodas. People seem to start to be familiar with the new normal lifestyle by following the health guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health and Sports. The reopening of the local tourism sites are also in operation to recover this tourism industry with local travelers by relaxing some restrictions. Domestic tourism seems to be in a good condition with slowly increasing travelers from all around the country. Social distancing plans and other health guidelines are applied to reopen sites, and that way local travelers can make visit to places with safety and pleasure. The likes of popular tourism destinations for local travelers are the same as foreign travelers. For example, pilgrimage sites, beach resorts, and mountains. The designated ecotourism sites are most likely to be visited by local travelers. Among them, Bagan, which is remarked as the World Heritage Site by UNESCO, is the most popular between local and foreign travelers. Some pagodas in that region are still under closure, but with a plan to open as soon as they get the permission for the reopening. U Oma, Secretary 2 of Pagoda Board of Trustees of Thilo Minlo Buddhist Temple in Bagan, said.
This is the tour season for foreign or local visitors. Because of the COVID-19 outbreak, there are completely no foreign visitors except a few local visitors. Although the visitors only have to worship outside due to the closure of the pagodas, there are still a few visitors here. We have planned 3 feet distancing, hand sanitizers, and hand wash basins at the entrance for the pilgrims. We also ask for each visitor's name and contact and also have temperature of the visitors measured. Many residents in this area that have to depend on the tourism are affected by the COVID-19.
There are all around 1,600 hotels reopening along with the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health and Sports. Hotels have to face difficulties with few local travelers because their income is much lower than the general expenses and costs for employees. Ji So-han, the owner of Myanmar Hand Hotel, said.
Our hotel was founded in 2017, which is built mainly for foreigners' interests. Due to COVID-19 outbreak, our hotels had to close starting from March and then mid-July. It was back in operation again. For the visitors' safety, we allow social distancing, like covering receptions with plastic sheets, and we try to make sure to have less interaction between staffs and customers. There are altogether more than 3,000 pagodas in Bagan, and some popular pagodas area have been restricted to allow visitors along with social distancing guidelines. I think it's also a good sign as a visitor can visit the rest less popular pagodas too.
Travelers would like to travel Bagan during winter season and have little interest during summertime because of the high temperature. Kandasin, the traveler from Yangon region, said.
This is my fourth time visiting here. I feel blessed and enlightened whenever I see the pagodas in Bagan. That's why I visit here many times. We have 4 consecutive holidays, so I came here. Even though I heard the news that the pagodas are closed, it couldn't stop me to visit here as I have decided to travel no matter what.
Thus, the report on domestic tourism seen with the gradual increase of travelers in some parts of Bagan. As the banana and coconut play essential role in the religious ceremony of many religious people, and it is about to celebrate Waso Full Moon Day, these two products have once again come back to the demand of the people, although the banana market is still struggling. Williamson has the full report.
Banana and coconut market, which has seen the decline of demands since the outbreak of COVID-19 in Myanmar, has once again come back to its full operation as the demand has soared since the beginning of July, according to the report by the people from this sector. These banana and coconuts are some of the most essential elements used in religious ceremonies of the people from Buddhism to Hinduism. And the demand of these two products is directly linked to the religious activity of the people. But the need of banana and coconut in religious activity is not the only factor. In the process of making food products, these banana and coconuts are also the most demanded items in the market as well. These banana and coconuts are mostly transported from coastal areas of Myanmar to Yangon, and it is transported back to Upper Myanmar from Yangon. But on the other hand, banana market is not doing well since the outbreak of COVID-19. Dr. Mama is a resident from Mobi Township who has been distributing banana for years, buying at Tiri Mingla market and reselling at her local market. And she spoke to MI Radio and said,
I
have to go to this market around 10 times in a month. But now I don't come here that many times anymore due to less demand in the market. I usually sold a banana worth around 200,000 jets in a day in the previous time, but now that is not possible anymore, and we barely sell banana worth around from 30,000 jets to 20,000 jets. So as the business is not good, it is not a good sign for both the consumers and the distributors. This is the reason why I don't load the vehicles full anymore, as I can barely sell the products, and it is affecting the people like us too much.
Kuyekji is one of banana shop owners at the Mingla market, and he also spoke to MI Radio on how his business has been doing, especially banana in the market, and he said,
The business is good just before Wazo, but after it, the business is not good anymore. But as a businessman, sometimes we get worried that what might happen to the business in the future. So far, it is not doing that bad. When it comes to the loss, as our economy has been hit by COVID-19, there is loss for sure, which is like a part of doing business. Here in this market, a bunch of banana can be sold from 300 jets to 1,000 jets, depending on the quality of the product.
Yaori and Sagaing regions are some of the areas where most of banana comes from, including other places such as Chaose, Malamiang, and other places. But some of the business persons from these sectors also report that the loss of banana is not that huge, even though the market is definitely affected by the impact of COVID-19, and it is not bad as it was initially feared to be. Owen Naiso, who is running coconut business at Turi Mingla Market, also spoke to MI Radio and said,
The coconut market is doing well for now as we are close to celebrating Wazo. This coconut has been on high demand since the beginning of July, despite the bad sale in the last month due to the outbreak of the virus. Another reason this market was not doing well in the last month was that there was less products coming to the market as well. For now, the main reason for increasing high demand is directly linked to full moon day of Wazo.
This is Williamson for MI Radio.
That's the story on the condition of banana and coconut market. That's all with the reports on Myanmar Today. Now let's move on to international news here on Myanmar Today. Microsoft Corporation said on Sunday that it would continue discussions to acquire popular short video app TikTok from Chinese internet giant Bagan, and that it was aiming to conclude the negotiations by the 15th of September. Microsoft said its chief executive Satya Nadella had a conversation with the U.S. President Donald Trump to address the latter's concerns over the acquisition. Microsoft said in its statement, quote, Microsoft fully appreciates the importance of addressing the president's concerns. It is committed to acquiring TikTok subject to a complete security review and providing proper economic benefits to the United States, including the United States Treasury, unquote. A top White House official said on Sunday that the U.S. is in a new phase of the coronavirus pandemic as the virus has infected more than 4.6 million people in the country. White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Deborah Birx said, quote, what we are seeing today is different from March and April. It is extraordinarily widespread. It is into the rural as equal urban areas, unquote. She also added that, quote, to everybody who lives in a rural area, you are not immune or protected from this virus, unquote. She also stressed about the issue that related to reopening schools, saying, in the areas where we have this widespread case increase, we need to stop the cases and then we can talk about safely reopening. The 30th of July marks the 5th anniversary of the Beijing's successful bid for the 24th Olympic and 13th Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022 Games. In the afternoon, the Voice of Beijing 2022 campaign was jointly kicked off by the Beijing Organizing Committee for the 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games and China Media Group CMG at the Beijing 2022's headquarters in Shogun Park. Ms. Han Ji-ro, Vice President and Secretary General of the Beijing 2020, said that construction of the venues and infrastructure have already yielded great results as construction of all competition venues will be completed at the end of this year. And also the Beijing-Jiangjiaogu high-speed railway and Beijing-Chongli expressway are now fully opened for traffic. On the other hand, the organizer works have been pushed ahead with as the official emblems and mascots were unveiled, over 850,000 voluntary applications were received and 32 enterprise sponsors were amassed. Meanwhile, notable progresses have been made also in sustainability and other sectors. The World Bank on Sunday approved $202 million in additional funding to support Bangladesh's national strategic grain reserves by 535,500 tons for 4.5 million households.
The funds will go to a project aimed at increasing the storage capacity of national grain reserves for over 4 million households. The World Bank says it's also supporting the construction of a storage complex for rice and wheat in 8 different districts. Now, food security has been challenged in several countries, including Bangladesh, amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
And that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I am Agajo. Have a great day, everyone. Stay home, stay safe. I'll see you again. Goodbye.